Feel the burn, baby. You ever heard that? Oh my God, if you don't feel the burn, you're just not even training. Oh, you want to feel this burn. You ever heard that? Does that sound like something that you do or have heard in order to have a great weight training session? Well, I'm gonna explain why feeling the burn does not mean that you had a great exercise and, a great workout. And neither does being sore, right? I'm gonna explain why these are not the best indicators and what are the best indicators. Let's first and foremost start with the burn. What is that burn from? It's one of two things usually. It's either an accumulation of lactic acid or acid within the muscle because there's a breakdown of energy, right? And the byproduct is this acidic environment, and that causes burn, which also causes the muscles to stop being able to contract as much, which is why you go to failure. Or you have a buildup of calcium ions, which also leads to more soreness, right? Which causes damage within the muscle, especially if it builds up too much. So in anywhere did I say, oh, the burn is from you going past failure and creating growth and creating the signal for growth? No. So does that mean you shouldn't have the burn? No. What it just means is just because there's a burn and you feel something doesn't mean that it's growing, right? You could do 100 reps. I could do 100 reps of pillow curls, right? And eventually it'll burn, right? It's because of that lactic acid buildup. Did I build muscle? No. Did I do anything? Absolutely not, right? It is good feedback to feel the burn because you're working the muscles that you're supposed to. And it's just like, oh yeah, God, I love it. Oh. But it's not doing anything for you in its own right. It's creating waste that the body needs to get rid of. Simply put, that's what the burn is, right? Doesn't necessarily mean if you have it or you don't. Now, more than likely, if you're getting a burn from what you're doing, you're working the muscle you're supposed to and you're training it hard, but it needs to also be included that you're training hard, you're using a heavy weight that you can control using the correct muscles, ultimately. Now, let's look at the calcium ion buildup or damage to the muscle and soreness. Look, I'm not a flexible guy. If I were to do the splits right now, I promise you, I'm gonna be sore as hell. Did I build muscle? Did I work out? No. What the soreness comes from is one of two things. Either you take the muscle past its normal point or range of motion or its length, and that causes damage, or you train so hard and so long, you have all this calcium buildup within the muscles that causes damage and that your body needs to excrete, and there's damage and there's soreness within that. Does being sore mean you had a good workout? Not necessarily, right? I would argue more times than not, if you're sore, especially more than 48 hours, you worked out too hard. You don't want to be sore for a week. That's horrible. That affects everything else you're doing. Having some soreness, again, there is going to be some byproducts and waste products and damage done, but it doesn't, you shouldn't have it to the point where it detriments your recovery, your sleep, and further training sessions, right? You should be doing just enough to be able to recover and come back. So the whole point of this video is to get us out of this, I got to feel something in order to do something. You know what tells you whether you did something? You work with the plan, work with the coach who have some sort of program that is designed, right? You take it through that and you see improvements. Are you getting stronger? Are you getting bigger? Are you seeing those things happen? Well, you're probably doing the right thing, and it's not because you're getting sore or feeling the burn, right? The way you know that you're having good good results through your program is giving it time. Now, generally, there are some guidelines, right? You can't do nothing or bare minimum or do too much to see progress, right? But there's a fine line and something that is perfect for you in that situation that gets adjusted based off your results. So there's no perfect indicator of what a perfect workout is, because guess what? If that was the case, everyone would know and we'd all get amazing results. Have you noticed that people who work out more or longer usually don't have better results? People who do the same thing all the time don't have better results, right? People who are sore all the time or hurting themselves, they don't. So there isn't something that I can point to, like, if you have this, you had the most perfect workout. There is none. It's a subjective accumulation or combination of how hard you train, how long you train, the volume, right? The control you have within that, the stimulus you create, your nutrition, your recovery, and all that. All those things put together in a certain combination create the perfect scenario for your workout and the recovery and the growth. That's ultimately something that another pair of eyes or trained eyes of yourself will be able to assess by monitoring what you're doing. So my goal with this video was to bust the myth that you need to feel the burn or feel sore in order to have progress in your weight training routine or to see muscle growth. You don't need to strive for that. It is just a byproduct of what you are doing. An effective weight training program might have burn and soreness, but you don't pursue the soreness and the burn in order to have the results that you want. If you like this information, please subscribe to my channel. And if you'd like to know what it takes for us to work one-on-one, please fill out the link in the application in my bio, and I'll reach out to you privately.